Here she is on Zoom talking about how she is working with this project to dispel unrealistic beauty standards. And then you understand why this is basically... this should be labeled as harmful medical advice here on YouTube, especially in relation to COVID. Yeah. But let's start with Lizzo.
I remember waking up and wanting to be someone else, change my body, change my eye color, my hair texture. I didn't have filters. It scares me to think that now there is a tool that actually cashes in on that insecurity.
We're children.
We really are immature.
Cut to me laughing.
Yes. As much as you can today, cut to Landau laughing.
Just a big giggling.
Also during the Zoom call.
I look fat today, too. I feel like I'm throwing stones.
You're wearing white with horizontal stripes.
I know, and with red.
Be proud about it.
And I got ready cheeks.
Was the Beetlejuice suit not available?
It was. Made a choice.
I passed.
You gotta make better choices.
I'm gonna look at maybe I lean up like the. Oh,
there you go.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, Dove, if you're looking for a new spokesperson for your self-esteem project, you got yourself a Landau.
Hello.
You got him on the hook. Harpoon.
Lizzo.
So during the Zoom call, Lizzo also said, "I have nothing to hide." Agree to disagree.
Where are you gonna hide?
Yeah, you can't.
There's no shame anymore. I just post myself. It's like you. You take me as I am. You don't have to love me. She also posted this nude selfie to Instagram to celebrate her new part. Here we go. That's the Taurus season. And now I want to give kids fair warning here because we're going to explain this does matter as it relates to health, the fat pride movement, and particularly if we're talking about COVID.
Yeah.
But first, avert kids. If your parents, we always say like this isn't this. It's not a trigger warning. I just know if you have kids that we're about to get into some inappropriate territory. I would 5, 4, 3. Fair warning, if you're still here, you're a bad parent. She has a long history of this kind of stuff. Here's just some examples from Lizzo's TikTok.
I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro with your pride.
I'm hoping that it's one of the, like fashion where it's cyclical, like now bell bottoms are coming back, that Photoshop makes a resurgence.
That's
maybe even MS terrible. Paint. I don't care.
We'll take what we can get.
Take anything we can get.
Trust me, back in my day, 30 beers, I'd be all over. Yeah.
30?
That's an
Andre the Giant.
30 Belgian Trappist ales, probably. And then,
who am I kidding? 30 O'Douls, you know what I'm saying, guys? All right.
Dress her up like the St. Pauli's girl. So look, here's why this matters.
Behind her on the
we got it's fine. We got fact checked for saying, hey, the COVID-19 is obviously a real virus. Right. It's significantly more deadly to old people, significantly less deadly than the flu to young people. We said, now, this matters because you need to look at the inflammatory reaction, the immune response, and maybe that'll help us determine what treatment options, along with vaccines. But that was removed, okay? That whole episode, you can find it on Mug Club because it's not allowed on YouTube. Now, here is something that is irrefutable, undeniable, and this is where kind of like when you have leftist social justice warriors who, right, they want women's rights, LGBTQAIP, but then they also have to support Islam, and it's like, oh, that's uncomfortable. Just don't all get in a conference room at the Hyatt Ballroom B. Let's just make sure you keep it all separate so that you can live in this world that is completely inconsistent. COVID-19, 88% of deaths came from countries with over 50% obesity rates. Okay, now that's pretty general. So people say, well, let's get into that. That just means countries where people are fat. Guilty. The United States. It's a problem. It's a problem of overabundance, okay? Don't talk to me about food deserts because we have the internet now. New study from Diabetes Care found that 34.8% of COVID patients were overweight, and then even more were obese. So 78% of severely hospitalized patients were overweight or obese. According to the CDC, you can't remove this. 78% were overweight or obese. There is a direct correlation with COVID-19 and your immunity, your ability to fight off the virus, your likelihood, the mortality rate with you being overweight. But that you can't juxtapose that with fat pride right now. This is the thing that really bothers me. If you want to end vaccine hesitancy with people, okay, government, what you need to do is make sure that people understand that's not the only option that they can take. Doesn't mean it's not an option that they can take to improve their likelihoods of decent outcomes, of being even asymptomatic or not contracting the virus. I'm not saying that vitamin D is a cure. I'm not saying intravenous vitamin, none of that stuff. But I am saying that, hey, look, how often have you heard people in the media talking about diet, exercise, and immune response? How many times have you heard the media talk about these are ways that you can keep yourself healthier overall? Now, we don't have the clinical studies, so we can't say guaranteed it'll stop COVID-19, but we do have more clinical data than you could read in your lifetime that correlates obesity, diet, supplementation. Certain vitamin D is important as far as levels in your blood if you're deficient, and your ability to fight off viruses of any kind. But you don't hear that. Well, so that's pseudoscience. There is an absolute correlation and a causal relationship between being overweight and all-cause mortality, and certainly COVID-19. It's more dangerous for us to say, hey, you know what? Zinc, vitamin D, eat right, try and lose some weight, don't smoke, all these things that we can say. They'll say you can't say that because it's not verified. Well, we fact-checked. Is there a fact check? Is there a fact check on the Fat Pride videos saying you can be just as healthy? It's not true. Again, we cannot find, the reason we can't find common ground right now, I think you hear people lament this a lot. They go, well, we need to find common ground again. You can't find common ground on a lie. It's not possible.
Oh, yeah.
It's not possible to do. 78% of severely hospitalized patients, overweight or obese. And then you say, find common ground in acknowledging that all sizes are healthy. Nope. And that's not because you have a D next to your name. It's because you're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Let me bring this up. So let me explain to you the science of COVID-19 and obesity. We have a graphic here. According to WebMD, COVID-19 latches itself to spiky surface protein receptors on healthy cells, especially your lungs. That's the COVID-19 virus right there. And as you see, it gets into ACE2 receptors and significantly rougher. It's Lizzo DNA.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.